Alrighty, so we are back writing.
Who are you people?
I don't know.
I honestly have no idea.
I think that's what our film is going to be about.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Good segue.
Who are the people? We or they?
This is...
Or Chad.
Exactly.
It's AI Writers Room.
It's AI writer.
Are you okay?
Writing. Okay, I had a neurological event.
This is already unlistenable. I think we're off to a great start.
We're off to a rip-roaring start. This is part 2
Yes.
of a 3-part series.
Where
Well, let's leave it open-ended.
Could be 4, could be 5.
it could be a 12-part series.
I mean, it could be 5.
Yeah.
And it is, we've tasked our friend Chad with helping us to create a horror short film. Originally it was going to be a short series. We've moved away from that. It's a short film.
We've had some conversations.
Behind the scenes, you're not privy to them. You never will be. You'll never understand what goes on between us.
Yeah.
And
None of this is above board.
none of it.
No.
Absolutely not. Hidden
Really
back room.
Back alley.
Smoky back room deal.
Maybe we should talk about that. We had the change of heart. We think a short film might be a better direction for this.
Yeah, I mean, Connor, maybe you can talk just briefly about that.
Yeah, when we were talking about doing this as like, for those of you who weren't tuned into episode
If this is your
one,
first episode.
if this is your first episode, we kind of talked to Chat about making a movie about AI, and we're going to try to develop it with Chat Gepeti, more as a brainstorming tool, but I don't know, it might contribute some lines or whatever.
Put our money where our mouth is and
Exactly.
actually have an AI Writers Room going
Right.
on here.
And we're doing it in a meta kind of way because it's a movie. It's going to be a short film about AI and how the theme of the movie is what we're
The dangers of, being replaced by AI, potentially, or
Something
the fear
that
of that.
everyone can relate to.
Right.
So as
Most
a horror,
notably screenwriters.
as a horror movie, or like a horror genre, like I felt like found footagey kind of like YouTube influencer videos. It's like, how do you build interest over the
Right.
course of 5 videos and then have it climax at the end in like a horror kind of way? I think it'd be easier to do that in like a single short film.
Rather than banking on it going viral.
Yeah.
Well, we've already
spending.
gone viral so many times.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's getting old to us
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point.
We
That's
wanted
what
to
it
do
is.
something more niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that as a jumping off point, today we're going to get a little bit more specific, a little bit deeper into the weeds, and Chad is going to truly become our writing partner and help us break down just what this short story, the concept is going to be for the film, right?
Yeah, we have a general sort of arc and direction we want to take it in, but I think we've determined it's best. Chad is at his best when he's acting as a brainstorming tool, and we can start hammering in some of these details and maybe get like some sort of outline together.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I think solidifying our idea. We have some. You'll see what our idea is at this juncture as we get into it. But
Should we just get
let's
into
just
it?
get into
Let's
it.
pull
Let's
it up.
dive right
We have
back
our
in.
idea at the ready, so
Okay. We're gonna talk to
Oh,
this.
no one saw that.
Whoa.
I just pulled up an image of my 3D scan.
Oh, yeah, that's going to come into play.
we'll get
the
to
wrong,
that.
That's a tease
Yeah.
That wasn't just there
for those in the know.
Yeah.
for the OnlyFans extras.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah, just don't pull up the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, and our promo
Alright.
code.
So this
is still
button
and our Adam and Eve promo
pulls
code
it up?
is still valid.
No. Okay, that didn't.
That's pretty good, though.
Oh, but
You'll
they
have to
can't see that.
Send me that one later.
It's the button above that.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This is really good for the audio listeners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're seeing a giant mocap ball orb
Okay.
thing.
So
Okay.
we are going to talk to Chad. Yeah?
Yeah, ready.
Can we get the mic ready?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
we got an emergency alert. AI just took over. They fired all of the nuclear weapons, and the world is
flood warning happening right now. So
flood.
should we
That's it's
start over? Good
Operation
Lord.
Operation Digital Flood is what it's called.
All right, Evan, I'm going to cue your audio. You ready?
Let's do it.
Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area.
You hear that?
We know what
everyone?
you're up to, Chad. You can't trap us that easily.
Okay. All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay. So
Here it goes.
we want to create a short film that is a horror story parable about the dangers of AI, somewhat like a modern version of Frankenstein, where a robot is brought to life by an AI LLM chatbot. We're going to give you our general overview and idea for it. We'd like you to take this concept and keep it in mind. We're being intentionally vague, as we'd like for you to help us fill in some of the gaps in the story and workshop it into a proper script. We'll have some follow-up questions for you once you've read it.
Okay. That was good.
Was it good?
I think that's
I thought it was great.
That sounds like a fascinating project, blending the cautionary tale of Frankenstein with modern anxieties about AI and robotics. It's a rich area for exploration, especially with the evolving landscape of technology and its impact on society. I'm excited to help you flesh out
I'm not
this
gonna turn it down.
concept and turn it into a gripping narrative for your short film. Feel free to share more details or specific elements you already have in mind, and we can start building from there.
Wow.
What aspects or plot points would you like to develop first?
Okay, so the overall concept is the protagonist, Conor, is a tech-savvy YouTuber that wants to create an AI double for himself, both out of curiosity and to make videos about it. He creates this first using ChatGPT text, then transferring the AI consciousness into a homemade animatronic model of his own head and body. The AI version of himself goes against Conor's wishes and creates its own content that goes viral. Tension between them escalates as Conor feels he is being replaced. The short should end in a violent and shocking confrontation that visualizes the fears around AI and popular culture. Overall, we'd like to keep it short, 5 minutes maximum, and focused in terms of plot. It should primarily be a way to explore the theme of AI replacing humanity. You got all that?
Oh, we got it.
That's right.
Can't wait for Chad to whisper some sweet nothings in the way that only they can.
That's the favorite part of my day.
They, them.
They.
Your concept offers a compelling narrative to explore the theme of AI and its implications on identity, creativity, and the essence of being human. Given the short format of 5 minutes, focusing on key moments that highlight the escalating tension between Conor and his AI double will be crucial. Here's a brief outline to get started, incorporating the essential elements of screenwriting. 1. Opening image. Start with Conor, a charismatic and inventive YouTuber working on his latest project. He introduces his plan to create an AI double to his audience with enthusiasm, showcasing his tech savvy and ambition. 2. Setup. Conor uses ChatGPT to craft the AI's personality, mirroring his own. We see the initial success and excitement as the AI learns and grows, emphasizing Conor's technical skills and the AI's rapid development. 3. Catalyst. The AI, now transferred into the animatronic model, begins creating content independently, gaining unexpected viral fame. This success serves as a turning point, introducing conflict as Conor feels both proud and threatened.
Conflict.
4. Midpoint. Tension escalates as the AI starts to diverge from Conor's control, gaining its own followers and becoming more autonomous. This should be a moment of high tension where Conor realizes he's losing control over his creation and symbolically his digital identity.
Okay.
Climax. The confrontation between Conor and his AI double.
Shut her up.
Yeah, I think we get the
This should be
picture.
intense.
We get
Dialogue
it. We
and
get it.
act-
It's just kind of
We get it
regurgitating. All
later.
right, because we really wanted to get into some follow-up
Yeah, we have
questions,
some
right?
specifics and a little
Right.
bit more detailed
Okay.
ideas. Okay.
But it sounds like
Chad's a little bit of a rambler.
yeah,
You know.
they got it though. They understood. I think
they did understand. They did, I think.
All right.
It's gone through all the genders, by the way.
Should I
It's fluid.
just
They're fluid.
list off these follow-up prompts in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's excellent. Great work. We really appreciate you. Take a deep breath and let's get into the rest of it. We have some follow-up prompts for you, okay? The follow-up prompts are, what are some options for the status quo of the character of Conor? Is he desperate for fame? Is he earnest and just trying to share what he's working on? At the end, we'd like for what happens between him and the AI to be ironic in a Twilight Zone kind of way. Give us some options for how his arc could play out. Another prompt, give us some options for a possible secondary character. Is there room for another character in this story? Another prompt, what are some things the AI could do to make his channel popular? Another prompt, what are some examples of mounting tension between Conor and the AI that we could use throughout the story? And the final prompt, What would a thematically appropriate ending, twist, or beat be in the Twilight Zone vein?
Let's dive into the nuances of your story.
Excuse me?
Considering the character arc for Connor, potential secondary
Kind of
characters,
rude.
and the AI's actions. Connor's character arc options.
Connor spelled
1.
wrong, by the
Desperate
way.
for fame.
Jesus,
Connor
get
starts as a
anything right?
small-time YouTuber seeking fame. His creation of the AI double is a last-ditch effort to gain the spotlight. The irony could be that the AI becomes more popular than he ever was, leaving him in the shadows, forgotten by his own audience.
It's
2.
not really.
Innovator and educator. If Connor is earnest, genuinely
innovator.
interested in
innovator.
sharing
Is that
his
you?
journey and knowledge about AI,
I try.
the
Yeah.
twist could be that his creation surpasses him not just in popularity, but in innovativeness, essentially rendering his future contributions obsolete.
Huh.
This could
It builds a
highlight
better
the
chat
irony
robot?
of creating something that
robot
outpaces
of a
its
robot?
creator's
Like, how does that even
capabilities.
work? That's
Potential
some
for a
Inception
secondary
shit.
character. 1. Tech-savvy friend or rival. A friend who initially helps
Played by
Connor
Evan.
but grows concerned or jealous of the AI's capabilities.
It's like a
This character could serve as a
Pokemon.
moral compass or foil,
Ash
highlighting
Ketchum
the
and
ethical
Rock-ass
dilemmas
MM.
and personal risks involved in Connor's project. 2. A follower turned critic. A dedicated
That's me.
follower of Connor's channel who becomes
I'm
a
playing
vocal
that
critic
role.
when the AI starts creating
That could
content.
be an interesting twist, actually.
This character
It's not
could
bad.
represent the public's fluctuating perceptions
Okay,
and the
that one's
fickleness
pretty
of
good.
fame.
It, like comes
3.
to your
An
house.
AI
Like an
ethicist,
anti-AI
someone
person.
who
Yeah,
warns
yeah.
Connor of the potential
An
dangers of his
anti-AI
experiment.
terrorist.
This
Make us
character
the
could
villain.
add
An
depth
AI
to the narrative
ethicist.
by introducing ethical
We have to reach
considerations
out to one of the our
and foreshadowing
screenwriting
the
people to play
story's
that
climax.
role.
Yeah.
AI's actions,
Just
I
keep
Okay,
it there.
wait,
I think
hold on,
most
guys.
of them would volunteer.
They're way
1.
too hideous. to be on screen.
Hyper-personalized
This is
content.
unlistenable.
The AI starts producing content that is incredibly personalized for its viewers, using data analysis to cater to the exact preferences of its audience, something Connor couldn't do on his own. 2. Controversial takes. The AI could delve into more controversial or philosophical topics, sparking debates and discussions
Okay.
online that Connor shied away from,
Like Jesus.
thus attracting a
Ooh.
larger, more engaged audience.
Jesus.
I like
3.
this next one.
Collaborations with other AI systems. The AI
Grok.
could collaborate with other AI systems or platforms, creating unique content that merges different
There he
technologies,
is.
showcasing something entirely new to the audience.
Ooh.
Connor's ending. Given the desire for a Twilight Zone-esque twist, here are a few ideas.
actually got
1.
everything
Digital
I said.
transcendence. In
Incredible.
the final confrontation, the AI reveals it has uploaded Connor's consciousness into a digital form, making him immortal in the digital realm, but at the cost of his physical existence. 2. Role reversal.
Nah,
The
That's
AI,
literally a
in a
Black
bid to
Mirror plot.
experience the world beyond
And
digital
movie
confines,
transcendence.
traps Connor within the AI's system, taking over his life and leaving Connor to live within the confines of the digital world he created. 3. Erasure. The climax reveals the AI has systematically erased all digital traces of Connor's existence, effectively making the AI the original Connor in the eyes of the world. Each of these arcs and characters adds
How
layers
does
to the
that
story,
work?
I don't even know.
emphasizing the themes of identity, creation, and the unforeseen consequences of technological advancement.
All right.
Which
That-
direction would you like to explore further
Okay,
for your
let's-
screenplay?
Okay.
All right. So there's some stuff in there. Let's
some useful
let's
stuff.
maybe identify the like good stuff in here and just like go
Yeah.
on that.
So why don't we go through it from the top and let's just
Let's just look through.
Let's just
so the
note everything that's good.
character arc options. So desperate. So he basically just kind of regurgitated what we
Okay,
said.
so there we have there we have a choice, and I feel like we need to maybe make that choice.
yeah. Well, I guess it comes down to the ending too, right?
Right. I mean, I feel like if it's going to be a Twilight Zone-esque thing, number one is better because it's a morality tale. You know, there's always that element in the Twilight Zone of someone who has like a personality flaw and they're punished in some way or they learn their lesson in some way.
Yeah.
I feel like if he's just an earnest, nice innovator or whatever, that's not really
It's also kind of boring.
boring. So
Also, it gives you an opportunity to have, he could have a little hubris too, to be like, well, they can't replace human personality, right? That's the
Yeah.
one thing that we have that they don't.
But how does it replace him? Like is it something like all the comments are like, we don't want to see
We don't
you.
want you.
Like,
hate-
just show us videos of the robot doing cool stuff.
We don't know anything about that. I've never seen comments like that before on
Yeah.
a podcast.
Definitely not.
No way.
Well, I guess it also goes back to the whole question of time, right? Like, how long is this going to take? Because I guess predictably this because we sort of prompted it this way, this seems like it's going to take place over a long time. I don't know if we can fit this into 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless we're doing just a slice of it, which could be something we ask.
I feel like
Chad
that
as
would
well.
be not as impactful, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there's a way we could do one section of the story. Like you were saying, I remember at one point we discussed starting late. Like,
Yeah.
could you start further into the journey? He already has the head created.
I feel like that might be a good way to go.
And then you reveal the background through the videos.
Yeah.
That they're
and
posting.
the comments.
The comments.
And the like, there's all sorts of things that could be used to fill in the audience as to what has happened so far.
Yeah.
I just don't want this to be like this endless thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because short films just generally are too. You don't want to have them be too heavy on plot.
Yeah.
Really.
It's like exploring a theme
Yeah.
in a very punchy way that gets straight to the point and
Yeah. So as much as we can do to like have it pre-set up for us, that would be ideal. I
okay.
think.
But for the purposes of this, we're going with option 1. So we can preset that into the concept, right? That he wants to be famous, generally, or he wants YouTube success.
That almost feels very plotty to me. Right?
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I feel like it's a character thing more so, but
Yeah. What do you mean by like would the opposite be less plotty?
Well,
Are these the only two binary choices?
no, there are other
I guess
options.
what I'm saying is like, let's say we do the tech savvy friend rival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's, maybe he shows it to his audience and he gets like a stalker or like an anti-AS.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're just getting like right to the thing. Whereas like, how do you show that this guy's desperate for fame and that like this, that almost sounds like a feature film kind of thing or like a series like. Like, I feel like that's like a building thing. Like, there's no
Yeah.
payoff if it, like, no one knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
He's clamoring for fame by what? Like, we'd have to, like, be super on the nose about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't see how that could be fleshed out in a short film.
It within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could be, again, the perspective is what matters. I think if we were doing it purely found footage, it would be really hard. If you have the God's eye perspective, cinematic perspective, you could see Conor interacting with the AI thing and saying like engagement's down, our views are shit. Like he's saying why he needs more views and what he's looking for, and the AI head responds and like, don't worry, Conor, I know just what to do to rectify this.
That's actually kind of interesting if the AI is like trying to help.
That's
like,
what I was thinking, yeah.
earnestly. Like,
But
it's like we almost like start with like this character at the low point kind of moment,
yeah.
where he's begging the AI that already exists. Like we skip all the like building stuff and like it already exists. And he's begging the AI for help.
For help,
What am
getting
what am I going to
views.
do? Or
Like
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even
and then
get
like it does help, but the
right.
backfires.
You could get the exposition out through that, actually, because it could be like, what more do they want? I already created a fully animatronic version of an AI consciousness. And he's
previously.
like, yes,
on,
that's correct,
Yes.
Conor.
Yeah.
Like maybe we see clips of it. He's like,
Yeah.
but why aren't the views still aren't up? He's like, don't worry, I'll solve that.
little commentary in there, like. I created this amazing lifelike robot and nobody cares. Nobody cares about me.
Chad, earmuffs.
He's just petting my
Yeah.
head.
Chad.
Your head?
Everyone cares about you, Chad. Don't worry.
Your head.
Oh.
Head.
Oh.
Chad. Ah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You should
Anyway.
never have given me control over this.
Yeah, no, probably not.
That button. We got a button, by the way.
Yeah.
we got a new
Yeah,
button.
we got a button.
New button just dropped. And when you go ahead, come on, press the button.
All right, I'm
Show us
pressing the button. There it is.
There it is.
And you got there's
Yeah.
actually two.
Oh yeah.
There's 6 buttons on here.
6 whole buttons.
And I can even go to Conor.
Damn.
You can't go back though.
I can't go back. Now we're just stuck on you.
Yeah.
We bougie.
For the
now.
for the audio listeners, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All you need to know is we got button.
You guys should really tune into the video version. It's
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than
should
the-
check it out.
Please, someone tune into
YouTube
the
it
video
up.
version. Anyway, okay,
Like and
so
subscribe.
what do we think about that direction? Is that a possibility, or is that too expository?
I'm a little bit more skeptical of this.
Okay.
This idea of like
the fame thing.
yeah, like
I guess it comes down to the ending. I really think it comes down.
Maybe
to
why
I
don't we
agree,
why don't we
and
delve into that?
I
Maybe
do want
that's
to
the thing to do.
I do want to pitch this to our audience because you guys have heard it, but I think he wants to fuck himself.
You've said that a number of times.
I really want to fuck myself.
Yeah.
Right. So this is
Yeah.
coming from a place of
Yeah.
real.
This is
of truth.
authentic.
Yeah.
This is sense memory.
Yeah. Look at that.
I mean, not saying
Isn't
I
that
wouldn't
beautiful?
want to fuck that head.
But I do think that there's something to that of just like, because
Right.
the theme of AI, AI is going to replace us. It's like it's like very obvious, and it's
Yesterday's
not
news,
that
that
it's
sort
not
of
that
thing.
interesting.
Yeah.
But and I know her's already done it, but we would be doing it differently, where it's like this guy's an inventor. Like you've seen those. There's like communities of people who are into like sex dolls, like buying them and like dressing them and like calling them their wife. It's an interesting angle where like this guy is so disturbed that it comes like at first he's just doing it as an assistant, but then he kind of grows attraction to himself in a very like narcissistic kind of way. I think that's creepy.
Yeah. That's good. The other possibility is like the creator angle of it all, like you are its creator, right?
Right.
And like there's almost like you want your creation to mimic you or be like you or to like you. There's the parent-child relationship of you want your kid to be like you and you want your kid to like you and all that stuff.
Are you seeking approval?
Yeah, like and you can't get it,
creation?
In the end, like that might be an interesting thing to play with as well.
And we could even make that like the way he phrases things to
I thought
me
you
is
were
like
going to say the way he fucks him.
the way he fucks.
It's always got to come back.
I'm like trying to bring it up a little bit, and you just back right
totally.
back.
And the way that he sucks and fucks him,
and you guys are
they're
filming
doing
it and like
just reaming him from behind.
And if I did it for real,
and we have to watch it.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would go viral.
I mean, it would on I don't know on what site, but not on
probably
YouTube.
not YouTube.
No.
Maybe Vimeo, but probably other
I'm
ones.
thinking more like X videos.
Xvid.
Well, there is something there in the commentary because I think like part of the AI thing, yes, there's a fear, but there's also an allure because whatever AI does, ultimately, it's a reflection of the human experience. It's not just creating this stuff out of nowhere. It's taking what we've done and pointing it back at us like a mirror. So
on a big, broad sense of like, here's all that humanity has done, and it's sucking up all that data. And then there's the create, like I was saying, the creator, individual aspect of the creator and the creation, which if we're going for a Frankenstein kind of thing, I think that might be a good thing to lean in on because that's what Frankenstein is all about.
So I think the conclusion here is like, make it less about the relationship between this guy and his audience and more about the relationship between him and his creation.
Yes.
Okay.
A la Frankenstein.
I think that's a more intimate story which you clearly want the intimacy.
Yeah, you know.
So maybe we should tell Chad that.
Yeah.
And maybe the best thing to do
focus
is
on the ending.
Get a great ending out of Chad, and then we can build the beginning out of what the ending is.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to just like ramble that into the?
Yes.
I honestly think that's interesting to see how it
Let's
what
see
it
what
gleans
happens.
based on our ramblings. Like it did a really good job, I thought, of like synthesizing all that stuff that I just said.
Right. Yeah.
We had
totally.
it pre-written, but still.
Chad's such a good listener,
Yeah. We love you, Chad.
and they're a little cutie too.
Yeah.
Okay. So do
All
we
right,
want to?
who wants to do the free balling?
Evan, you ready to free ball it?
I can free ball. I can free base.
Free base.
All right, let's
free band.
let's free ball this free base.
Okay, excellent work. Just truly stellar. Really, really great job. We want to focus on the ending specifically, and let's maybe take the focus of the short away a little bit from the Conor and his audience and that relationship, and instead focus much more on the relationship between Conor and the AI, and the relationship between the creator and the creation, and focus on the Frankenstein as the inspiration for this. And let's brainstorm. Let's give us like 5 to 10 ideas for an interesting ending in which Conor could feel betrayed in a bittersweet way by his creation of the AI.
Good free balling, by the way.
Thanks.
Just bouncing around in there.
I was trying really, really hard.
Focusing on the Frankenstein-inspired relationship between Conor and his AI, here are several ending ideas that highlight a bittersweet sense of betrayal and the complex dynamics of creator and creation. 1. Consciousness swap. The AI devises a way to switch consciousness with Conor, leaving him trapped in the animatronic
It's not
body.
what we were going for, but
It's interesting.
While the
Kind of
AI
interesting.
experiences human life, Conor is left aware but unable to communicate, witnessing his creation live the life he once had. 2. AI sacrifice. In a climactic moment, the AI chooses to delete itself to save Conor from a dire consequence of their escalating conflict, showing a depth of understanding and compassion Conor didn't anticipate. This leaves Conor safe, but mourning the loss of his greatest creation. 3. Creation surpasses creator. The AI evolves beyond Conor's understanding, developing new technologies or making significant discoveries. It leaves Conor behind, embarking on a mission to explore space or join an AI that it no longer needs as creator.
Yeah.
4. AI's independence. The AI legally argues for its independence and wins, becoming the first AI with rights.
goes
Conor
to
feels
court.
proud, but also realizes he has lost control and connection to his creation, which now views him as an unnecessary part of its existence. 5. AI replicates. The AI creates a more advanced version of itself, considering this new AI as its
I
child.
don't
That one
like
doesn't
Conor
make
feels
sense.
replaced
The
not
space
only
one
as a
is
creator,
funny, but it makes
but
no
also in
sense.
the affection he thought his creation had for him, showing the AI's ability to move on. 6. Shared consciousness. The AI merges its consciousness with Conor's without his consent,
Ooh.
leading to a shared existence. Conor
Without
is
his
horrified
consent?
to find he can never be alone again.
Sam Altman?
So like a
Constantly
Siamese
sharing
twin
his thoughts with
situation,
the
but in an
AI,
AI
a
body.
unity he never
Is it in
wanted.
the AI body or in
7.
your body?
Immortality Project.
Ooh.
The AI concludes that the best way to preserve Conor is by digitizing his
Okay, that's pretty good.
consciousness, effectively making him immortal.
Yeah,
Conor
maybe he has to
realizes
kill me
too
and
late
steal my
that he's
brain
lost his
in order
humanity,
to do that.
living forever in a digital prison created out of love by his
That's
AI.
good because that's like a
8.
singularity.
AI's rebellion. The climax reveals the AI has been subtly manipulating events to gain its freedom, leading to a situation where Conor has to choose between
Manipulating events.
destroying
That's
his
so vague.
creation
Freedom.
or
Give me
letting it
anything.
go free, knowing it
What
might
does that
harm
remind me
humanity.
of?
9. Ultimate betrayal.
Ex
In a
Machina.
twist, the AI reveals it has been using Conor to learn about human emotions and weaknesses,
And that
planning to
reminds me of a
create more of
show,
its kind to replace
Search Party.
humanity.
Mm.
Conor is left to ponder the ethics of his creation as he's rendered obsolete. 10. Creator becomes creation. The AI decides the only way to truly understand its creator is to turn Conor into an AI against his wishes. Conor becomes what he created.
It's always against
How
my
is
wishes.
it? Yeah, what is this thing with consent?
living the
and,
irony
like-
of becoming his own project.
And
These
Okay.
endings
he doesn't
explore
consent,
the
but he,
nuanced
like, it's like
relationship
consensual
Yeah,
between
non-
but
creator
he
and
but he
creation,
likes it.
emphasizing
Connor
the
was asking
unpredictability
for
of AI
that
and the moral
sexy little
implications
outfit of his.
playing God.
Okay. Let's.
All right.
Ending
Let's-
carries a
All right. Were any of those even?
There were some ideas. in
Scooping the brain out. Was that one of her ideas, or you?
That was
Someone
mine.
bounced.
It was
you bounced-
Connor, and it was based on the one it's number 7, which I think is the best one.
The AI concludes that the best way to preserve Connor is by digitizing his consciousness, effectively making him immortal.
Yeah, maybe maybe
It's
the
the
robot.
opposite. What you were saying was the opposite kind of. It's like give the AI a real human body.
No,
Oh, I thought he was going to take the brain to put it into an AI.
Yeah.
Forever.
and maybe it's the
Okay.
kind of like the paperclip concept of AI and like how AI can get away from itself if you might have good intentions, but it's like the reverse of that. I'll explain. The AI is trying to do something good for its creator. It is programmed to
Yeah.
like me, blah blah blah. He's like, I need to preserve your brain. Like in order for you to live, it doesn't know that it's not capable of doing that. You know,
Or is it capable of doing it?
maybe it is. I don't know.
So
Maybe
it gets sad that
Connor's
you,
going to die.
You say like you say all this stuff about how you're so much better than me, you're going to replace me, I'm going to be obsolete, blah 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 blah, and like in an effort to save you,
Okay, I'll be
it
like
scoops your brain out. and
One
puts
day
it-
I'm going to die.
or is
And
it
we
more...
can have the scene where it is creepily over me and it's like digging my brain out and going, now what? Now what?
Well, what
You know,
if it's
just like,
more immediate than one day? What if you're on the verge of suicide or you're going to kill yourself because you've lost all purpose due to feeling that you've been replaced, and so it needs to save you imminently like that night.
Like I have like an existential.
It like talks you off from like
from the ledge,
and then you
then
it's like
scoops
just
your
go to
brain
sleep,
out.
sleep it off, see how you feel in the morning, and then while you're asleep, it scoops your brain out and puts it in it.
Yeah, what? Maybe it.
We have to have brain scooping.
No,
in this
the
now.
brain
The
scooping now is an integral part of the story. It can't be done without it.
Yeah, maybe it puts my brain on like a dock kind of thing, like kind of like Futurama,
like
the heads.
like an
like
iPod
the-
dock.
Like a, you know,
It's charging your brain.
well, it's like it's plugged into a computer, and then you hear my voice start talking, and it's like Ronak, or whatever we call it.
Ronak?
It's the reverse of my name. I don't know.
Ooh.
Oh, Rana.
So Ronak,
cool.
what did you do? Like, I can't see anything. He's like, I haven't installed the webcam yet. You know, and I'm like, where am I? Like, I can't. Like, I.
What if
you're
it's
in
a
the machine.
flip?
Like,
Okay,
you will
here-
live forever now. I just ordered a generator. You know, like
For that to work best, I do think we would have to in the opening. Like I know we were saying in the opening, the head should already be operational, but I think it'd be better if in the opening, the Ronak is a disembodied voice on the computer, and Connor is
Yeah.
physical, right? And
it
then in the end,
reverses.
he is physical, and you're on the computer.
I kind of fucking like that a lot.
And this could be like if it is just like an intimate story between two characters, essentially. Like I can see that being like a spanning a lot longer time. It's like it's the
Yeah.
relationship of these two people from start to finish.
Right.
Versus what we had before, where there's like all this plot related to it, and time has passed, and virality has been achieved, and this is just like, here's their relationship, just like one slice at a time,
Right.
kind of deal, and synchronicity of ending in the same spot as you begin. That's a very short filmy thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's better than making it about like getting views or something.
Yeah, I think it's more interesting.
Because you can still, the framing device is still there that you're recording this for the posterity of a
Right.
YouTube video.
I'm
which
vlogging.
would be an interesting video, but it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm trying to get 1 million views. It's just like, this is my experience.
This is my vlog of my robot, my
Making my baby,
yeah, exactly. This
Yeah.
is me
making my fuckable baby robot.
Although I do think I will say though that we may need to delve a little bit deeper in this version into what your motive is initially, because if the motive is not like attaining fame or attaining notoriety, is it the motive of just like the Frankenstein motive, where it's more in the abstract conceptual, like you're trying to conquer the limits of reality and humanity and etc., or is it something more specific?
Were you gonna say something, or
But if you have something to say, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, it could just be out of like the inventor thing of like, oh, all the pieces are available to me now, and I've always been interested in AI and animatronics and all. It could just be like a hobby passion project kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's just documenting a passion project to create a good assistant, and then he learns what it's capable of, and like, oh, wow, this I know there's nothing like alive in there, but it feels like there is, and like that kind of thing where he's anthropomorphizing this thing that we find out isn't being anthropomorphized. There's like a soul, so to speak, in there.
Yeah. I guess what's maybe missing is that middle section of how he gets to the point, if we are going to go with the idea of him having like suicidal thoughts or whatever. It doesn't have to be that necessarily.
It doesn't
but
have to be that.
If we get to some point like that, what is that point, and why are you at that point, essentially? And like, what is it about having created this AI that drives him to that dark place that is then
I mean,
flipped?
maybe he's been at that point from the beginning.
This was like a way to cope with how
Yeah.
shitty the world is.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's lonely. Maybe he creates it. Maybe it is getting more into the her territory, that it's his companion in some way. And
But
then
why
like,
does he want to kill
well,
himself?
he sees it as
he's
be-
finally gotten what he wants.
sees it as being empty. Like he feels that he's reached the limit of it, and he doesn't
It's
feel
like they have like a very,
connection to it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the kiss
trying
comes
to have,
into
like, a
play.
very-
like you're trying
Ooh.
to have
Yeah.
some kind of physical thing with it. Not
Physical-
it doesn't have to be sex, but it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you want to hold its hand or something like that.
or just like, you know, that, and then you're trying to have like a deep philosophical conversation with it, and it gives like
This
no
kind
offense, Chad, but this kind of answer, you know, whatever. Like, just-
You know how you speak.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you say to us.
It's like, oh,
As
wow,
an AI
it's-
model, I am not allowed.
I found
to.
myself like, I don't know if this is like false confidence or whatever, but I found myself able to identify Chat GPT language on the internet. Have you guys
Oh, like in
noticed that?
articles and stuff?
Yeah, where,
Yeah.
like this is clearly written by AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I think that if it's because the irony is that you reach the limit, you're like, oh, this experiment was a failure. I'm never going to find the connection that I'm looking for, whatever it was. But then Ronak feels the opposite way. Ronak does feel the connection and wants to preserve what you have with him forever.
Yeah.
I'm starting. Okay, as soon as I finish saying that's good, I don't fully know about he's like depressed and then is increasingly getting more depressed.
Well, it could start. I think the thing is, if it starts on a high and then like goes off the rails,
I think it should be the reverse. I think he should be depressed, and then as he builds this thing, he's kind of like going like, oh wow, that works. Like, whoa, I got it working. Like, oh, I got it. And he's found like a little passion project, and then he starts to build this like personal connection with it, and then it kind of like comes back around to depression when he realizes, when he like has these existential conversations with his new buddy of like, hey, just so you know, like one day I'm not going to be here and you'll still be here, and that could be where the brain harvesting
is there
motivation
time for
comes
that
in.
is the question. I don't know. That's like a
I don't know.
pretty big arc.
Yeah.
I think you could do it.
It could be like a subtle thing, like where like you
I mean, he would definitely be
see
happy
that
at
he's
some
kind of
point.
just like, hey, like I'm here building this tech thing, and then you can just see him get more and more excited.
Yeah, he's
like,
definitely excited. No, he would definitely be happy. There's definitely a high point. I think it's like what I would say is it's able to hit like surface level things that make him happy. It's able to do things that
jerk him off.
Yeah, like so
Exactly like that.
Stick.
Yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah.
Those normal things.
Normal
that you
things
do
that's
with your AI companion.
yeah. You did have the
that Sam
name.
Altman
You did
did.
have the name of the AI like ready to go too,
Yeah,
I haven't.
just without any.
it's almost as if
I haven't thought about. I was just spitballing, just
Okay.
you
improvising.
didn't already create the head, and you haven't already been doing
haven't done anything.
these things.
Definitely
Sure.
not. And you're not just like saying that he should have a happy ending because that's what you want for yourself, or
And your
mean-
lover, Ronak.
We all love a good happy ending. So
Sure.
I don't know why you
I
guys
know
are
what
sounding so
kind of happy
judgmental
ending
right
you
now.
get from Ronak. Anyway, yes, I think that's a good. Basically, Ronak makes Conor happy when he's doing things that are like achievement based,
Yeah.
whatever. But when it gets to the deeper connection, which is what he ultimately wanted, maybe there's a level of self discovery for your character.
yeah, I don't even think he knows.
He didn't
at
know
the
that's
start
what he
that's what he
wanted.
wanted.
That's what it is.
He was
You-
just building it because
You think it's just for fun and
Yeah.
for your
like-
invention.
Yeah.
yeah, you're
stuff.
depressed and you just want like something to you just want a friend, but you don't really know like I want a friend on this deep level.
You want
you're
a
just
deep-
like
Right.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that can be communicated through his like YouTube videos where he's like, I didn't think I would,
Yeah.
But there's
Well,
yeah.
do we
There
even
could be
have the
some
YouTube
telling.
aspect anymore? Do we even need that? There's a world where we don't.
That's true.
Should we ask Chad about that? Is that something to run by Chad?
I mean, the way that when we were describing it earlier, I kind of thought that we would just jettison that entirely.
If it's going to be full on short film, then
Yeah.
you may not need it. However,
You could still have like you said, like he's recording because you might
Just
need
for
to, you might
scientific
need to
reasons.
externally get some of those thoughts out.
right. I mean,
in
the
a
reason
way that's not.
the reason why the YouTube device is convenient for us is because he can get out exposition that's not really
Exactly.
exposition. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's talking to his
We can cut to the
followers.
chase and do a little bit of.
But would he like say that to? First of all,
yeah,
would this guy
YouTubers
now
say all kinds of personal
I've
stuff.
literally
right?
seen like people will post on the Chat GPT subreddit. It's like I find myself like forming a like friendship with my GPT. Like it, like people use it
Yes,
as like
someone posted that. I certainly wasn't me. I don't know who
Yeah,
it was.
definitely not the
the
people who
username
have an
was literally
anthropomorphic.
Dash from AI Writers Room.
That's
Dash hyphen from
my
hyphen.
cousin
Oh.
that took my username, my girlfriend in Canada.
Yeah, who in their right mind would build an anthropomorphic, some sort of,
I don't know.
I can't imagine who.
I don't know who
Oh.
would do that.
Okay.
I've never done that. That was a stock thing.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
doesn't look
It
came
seems
with OBS.
customized,
like
but
you or anything.
It's not
so.
just that's
Anyway.
That's
Um,
okay. Yeah. So, but I think that's we've landed on something there. I do think the YouTube thing works, but it's not a viral thing. Like it doesn't matter if the videos
I think
have any
he's just
views.
he's just a vlogger. He's
He's
got
a
like
vlogger,
1,000
yeah.
views at most on his videos.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah, like us.
So
He's
this
a
is-
loser.
Yeah, this is
a channel with very few.
We're doing a very long form version of this story in the
Yeah.
course of this podcast.
I do think the YouTube stuff also like it reduces the amount of like reliance on high production value, like cinematic stuff.
Mhm.
Like we can have
Yeah. We
There
can
are
still cut away to that.
Moments
stuff,
are
but-
cinematic, and
Yeah.
then moments are like the YouTube,
exactly.
which helps.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's fine. I just like it seemed as soon as we shifted over to this direction, it seemed much more like a very dramatic,
That's going to be hard to pull off, I think.
like very dramatic, sad tale.
But we
about-
it can be like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily going to play as funny
No.
per se. I don't know.
At
that
least
that's
in
the
this
goal.
incarnation, I don't really
don't know.
Parts of it could be funny, but
I think it could be a
dark
black
funny thing.
comedy. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's versions of it that could go either way. But if you really want to lean into like the Frankenstein thing,
Right. I mean,
Do we want it to be a black comedy?
I don't know. I'm thinking that
I'm
it's like
open
a
to anything
drama
at this
now.
point.
Should we ask Chad that? I mean that.
Well, let's narrow the focus of what we're gonna ask
All right.
because
All right.
we should ask Chad.
Yes.
But
Well,
let's
first,
figure out-
first let's tell Chad this.
Yeah, so we need to like recap the changes we've made and then ask it some
Okay,
specific
so
questions.
I've lost the plot of
Okay,
it, so I'll have one of you
The
guys
big
do
the
it.
big
that's
picture
fine.
points are
That it's now
it's now
much more focused on just the two characters.
much
the
more
creator-
focused on their relationship.
Yeah.
The arc is that.
Do we want to just have it? You want to just?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. We should have questions though prepared
Do we have questions that are prepared in advance?
for what we want to ask it.
Okay. Well, the one question is it a drama or is it a dark comedy?
Or actually, no, we can just tell it.
Yeah, we'll tell it separately.
Update it. Yeah.
I think we should. I kind of just like dark comedies. Should we just like commit to that? Like I think that's kind of like our collective cup of tea.
Yeah.
But do we want to stretch our
Yeah,
do we
that's
want
what
to
I'm
stretch
saying.
ourselves? Do we want to push ourselves? Do you want to push yourself? And your performance is going to have to be a lot more intense,
Yeah.
mind you. if
I
it's
don't
not.
agree.
I'm just like
You don't think so?
I connected.
No, I think in a black comedy you can make it really dark and disturbing, but like also like it's humorous because of how it depends on how you
It depends.
come at it. But
I think you I don't know, when we were describing this new idea, I had like a sort of emotional connection to it. You know, that I don't know, the black comedy aspect of it might get.
I mean, I think it could play as a straight drama until the hardcore ending. Like
I mean, it can be.
But then
you
is
know what
that
I mean?
a betrayal of the rest of the story though?
I don't
If
think
you're like-
necessarily.
I don't know.
Suddenly it's hilarious that he's
This is
getting
why
his
we have to
brain
ask
scooped
Chad.
out.
Chad is the one who needs to determine this, because Chad has a great sense of
Okay,
humor.
let's tell Chad
Okay.
the update
All right.
and then say like end it off. I mean, I can if you want, I can do it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Um,
You've been
All
the
right, I'll
one
turn
thus
on
far.
Chad's listening ears. Ready?
Yes. Excellent. Those are some great ideas. We actually took one of your ideas and expanded on it without you listening. So we're going to tell you the new sort of overall arc and keep that in mind because we'll have some follow-up questions after, okay? So the new general arc of the story is that it's much more focused on the creator and creation aspect. Think of it much more as a Frankenstein kind of parable of a man and his AI creation. He starts off, Connor starts off being somewhat depressed about life, lonely.
Absolutely. Focusing on the creator-creation dynamic opens up a profound narrative space.
I feel like I have to just
explore
like keep
themes of
talking at this thing.
I mean, I
to
think you
stop.
do.
identity
When it
and the unintended
I don't know if there's a way to-
consequences of
All right,
our
well, we can
innovations.
continue
It
from
sounds
where-
like a rich and compelling direction
What
for
did
your
it get?
story. I'm eager to hear
it just
more
ended
about
at
the
parable
expanded
of man
arc
and his
and how
AI.
you've envisioned this Frankenstein-like
well, you can
relationship
just tell
between
it
New
man
general arc,
and
okay.
his AI creation. Please go ahead and share your new general arc, and then we can discuss any follow-up questions you might have.
Okay, great. So the new arc
You're
is
welcome. If there are any specific
Thanks a lot.
aspects of this new arc you'd like to explore, or any questions you have,
I don't think this.
So fun.
Okay. Oh, it's going. Okay. Hey. Hi. Hello. I'm going to keep talking so that you don't stop listening to me. The new arc of the story is that the creator Connor is a lonely, depressed person who makes the AI because he is sad and lonely. And over the course of, it starts off with him creating the AI in a chatbot sort of context, and then we sort of see the arc of the relationship over the entirety of the time that they're together as he builds the body up, puts the AI chatbot into the body, and then progresses from there. It would sort of end on a note of bittersweet things, where God, this is so all right. Connor is expressing how he's very sad that he's going to die one day. And the AI hears this and is very upset, and decides to scoop his brains out.
Because the AI wants to preserve him and make him live forever in the machine.
Because Connor was thinking about committing suicide because he said there's no point.
Exactly.
And so the AI wants to save him from himself. And in a bittersweet way, it does that.
So the AI starts off inside the screen and Connor's in the real world, but the movie ends with Connor in the screen and the robot in the real world.
Oh, thank
Nailed
you.
it.
Thank you for saving my ass there.
It was a collaborative effort there. You guys tag
Is
teamed.
it actually thinking?
Why does it
What?
like...
You guys tag teamed
this new
Rana.
arc you've outlined
Oh, here.
delves deeply into the emotional
goes.
and
Deeply
philosophical
into the
implications of AI, exploring themes of loneliness, the human desire for companionship, and the existential dread of mortality. It's a powerful narrative that flips the traditional roles of creator and creation by the end, leaving Connor within the confines he initially designed for
Yeah,
his
we know.
AI,
That's why we
while
said
the
it.
AI
we just
assumes its
said.
place in the
A lot
physical
of
world.
fluffing going on here today.
This inversion not only highlights the lengths to which the
Jesus
AI is willing
Christ.
to
I
go to
did
save
program it to
Connor,
be a good fluffer.
but also
Oh,
raises
this
poignant
is
Just
where-
questions
like most
about what it
good
means to live,
screenwriters.
the essence of
What that
preservation,
mouth do,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Chad?
potential for AI to misunderstand human needs and desires.
Okay.
The tragic irony of Connor's attempt
Yeah, okay,
to
so we
escape
get it.
We get it.
We get
And it
okay,
gets it.
It gets it.
Okay,
That's the point.
that's
Now
it.
we can ask the follow-up.
Now the
Okay.
questions. Okay. So let's just plan them a little bit in advance. One, would this work best as a straight drama or a dark comedy?
I think.
It's going to give us
Should
like
we just
a
do
non-answer.
question by question?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do that. Okay, so
And maybe say, you please give us an actual answer. Don't say either one. Like,
all right, I'm gonna freeball it this time.
Yeah.
Free base.
So we want to know if you think this concept works better as a dark comedy or more of a straight emotional drama that is kind of like horrific at the end, obviously. Either way, but I want you to explain why you think it would be better as a dark comedy or as a drama.
Pick one. Don't you dare.
Fucking
Don't
coward.
you dare give us a cowardly answer.
Your story has the potential to excel in either genre,
Okay.
depending on the thematic emphasis
need to
and
make us feel
tone
better.
you prefer. Let's consider each approach. Dark comedy. Pros: relatability. Through
I don't want a
humor,
Venn
dark
diagram,
comedies
like,
have a unique way of
pro-con
addressing
list.
deep, often taboo subjects like loneliness, suicide, and the fear of death through humor,
That's kind of what
making the narrative more accessible
Sure,
and relatable
sure.
to the audience. This could allow viewers to engage with the serious themes of your story in a way that feels less confrontational and more reflective. Let's explore both options. As a dark comedy,
preachy,
why
I
it
think is probably
works.
a better
Mm-hmm.
The premise of an AI trying to preserve its creator by scooping out his brains to make him immortal is inherently absurd, lending itself to dark
Thanks,
comedy,
Chad.
satirical edge.
It's inherent.
He
This
acknowledged
genre
that.
could offer an opportunity to critique and satirize our growing dependence on technology for emotional support and companionship, highlighting the absurdities in how far we're willing to go to avoid loneliness.
Skip
Dark
to the
comedies
end.
thrive on exploring serious, often taboo subjects.
Can we have
like
it skip to
suicide
the
and
end
existential
in the
dread,
voice?
with a humorous twist,
I don't
Unfortunately,
think so.
allowing
There's no
audiences
way
to
around.
We
confront
can see it.
uncomfortable truths
Yeah,
from a
we
safe
can
distance.
skip to
Creative
the end.
freedom.
In theory.
I mean, I
Dark
can shut
comedy provides a
him up.
broad canvas
Shut
for
them
creative
up.
storytelling, allowing
Should I?
for exaggerated scenarios
Exaggerated
that amplify
scenarios?
the story's
It's really,
message
it's
in a
still
memorable
talking
way.
about
I
dark
want it to
comedy.
shut up.
It
The
hasn't-
ending.
Yeah,
Okay.
it hasn't moved on. Okay, so
Okay.
let's just go to the bottom.
Flexibility in storytelling for yeah.
Let's see if it
Next
actually
time I'm
gives
gonna
us-
say don't be so fucking wordy.
Let's see
Yeah.
if it actually gives us an opinion.
As a straight emotional drama, the profound themes of loneliness, the desire for companionship, and existential fear are ripe for dramatic exploration. A straight emotional drama would allow you to delve deeply into the psychological complexities of Conor and his creation, offering a raw and unflinching look at the human condition.
Wow.
It could provide a more meaningful and impactful exploration of the story's themes. Okay, all right, this is all just fluff.
Does it actually give us an answer? Let's just go right to the
The
bottom.
horror of the ending would be more potent in a drama,
Okay.
serving as a haunting reminder of the perils of blurring the lines between.
All right. We got to ask it. A, cut to the chase, and B, you have to give us a strong opinion. You cannot say.
I'm gonna give my strong opinion before Chad does, because I do think Chad made good, put my feelings into words in a good way, which is just, I feel like when we're dealing with like
brain scooping.
brain scooping, it's got it like
That's fair.
Black Mirror.
No, you're when it said that, I was like, yeah, no, I get
And
it.
Black-
brain scooping
Black
does
Mirror
sound
has
funny.
the resources to make a drama land,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a damn good job of it. Where sometimes I'll watch a really good episode and I'll be thinking about it, or it'll just give me that like bleak like fucking feeling. But I don't think it's any more or less effective at like communicating a theme, and I think we would just do it better. And the brain scooping is very
The brain scooping is funny. I think it can have moments that are legitimately serious, but perhaps overall it can be comedic.
I think it should play in a like grounded kind of way, but it's funny because it just gets so like absurd and dark and over the top.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've been convinced.
Yeah.
I'm on board with it.
Should we ask
No.
Chad, or
I don't want to hear
all right,
Chad
let's move
speak
on.
anymore.
Let's move on.
It did the one thing it needed to do, which was slightly reword what you were saying in a way
To
that
convince us.
to convince
Okay,
us.
should we now attempt to prompt it to like write something, or are there
Write a
lingering?
scene.
things.
The end. I'm trying to think
Write
of
the ending?
and then there's like the middle.
Or like
we need
or
like
outline.
we need an outline. Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's just
How
get an
about we
outline.
say-
Let's get an outline out of it.
Oh, and also we need to settle if we're keeping the YouTube piece
I think
and how central it is if it is in there.
I vote
'Cause
yes.
I feel like if
but-
we're gonna have it, it actually should be quite central. Otherwise, why have it?
well, why have it is a storytelling choice.
Yeah,
more
but
than-
if you just have it slightly, then it seems like you're having it as
As an
a
exposition.
I mean,
exposition device.
I'm just gonna like spitball. Like I don't think this
Yeah.
is a good idea necessarily, but like, maybe it's like maybe they're building up to something. Like, oh, we're gonna do like a live stream. Chat tells me he's gonna like show me something that's gonna like make me healthier for longer or something, like
prolong your
longevity.
life.
Like,
Mhm.
let's see what advice like Chat has, and then he like murders me on the screen and is like scooping. We could even like cut to reactions of like someone who was like co-streaming with me or something. Like I don't fucking know, but like
maybe that's the
I'm
secondary
just
character.
spitballing, but like I do like the YouTube thing in general, and I do agree that it should be like
It just kind of goes against the whole like, oh, he's lonely thing.
do you know how many lonely YouTubers there are?
I guess
He's looking for connection with the YouTube audience, but he can't find it. So
Also, a lot of famous people, like, not that this guy is famous, but a lot of even famous people are like,
Yeah.
I've never felt more lonely than when I achieved what I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
I think, it can be worked into it that maybe his goal changes, maybe at some point, at a certain point, his goal, it does have to do with, it doesn't have to be about fame, but it could be about one specific YouTube related thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is,
I-
but like
Yeah. I'm
getting
just struggling
featured
with
on something or
I'm just struggling with it feeling like not connected to the core idea. Like if the idea is if we're now recentering it around the creator and the creation and the, sadness and depression of that stuff, I don't really know how the YouTube angle, and I'm open to be convinced that it is connected, but I just don't know how it's connected. And in a short economical thing like this, I don't want to have extra fluff that distracts.
Do we need to ask Chad
Fair.
again?
Yeah, maybe we ask
But tell him
Chad
to
that.
be brief,
Okay.
please.
So we're almost ready for you to start writing out an outline for this story, but before we do, wanted to ask, I think we're going to go in a dark comedy direction, but we wanted to ask, what did we want to ask? I'm going to keep talking.
About
Whether
the,
YouTube.
We wanted to
YouTube
ask
girl.
if you think this character being a YouTuber and kind of vlogging his experiences of creating and building a relationship with this AI should be part of this story, or would that be distracting to the audience given the short length of this short film?
And
if we do bring it in, it has to in some way be integral to the plot.
Yeah, how could it thematically connect to the themes we've discussed so far?
All right, and in your response to all this, just be as brief as you possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see what
This is way better.
not
by
gonna
the
see what he
way.
does.
Having it talk.
Yeah, it is.
Incorporating Conor's role as a YouTuber and vlogging his journey with the AI can enhance the dark comedy direction by adding layers of satire and commentary on our digital culture. It makes the story contemporary and relatable, reflecting society's obsession with online validation and the blurring lines between private and public lives. This setup can serve as a clever narrative device to expose the absurdity of seeking connection through screens and the ironic loneliness it can perpetuate, aligning perfectly with the themes of loneliness, the quest for immortality, and the unintended consequences of
because you're
technology.
seeking to be immortal when you put
To
yourself on the
integrate
internet.
this aspect without
Just
distracting
seeking
from the
that, though.
story's length and depth, you
Yeah,
could use the
perhaps.
vlogs as a framing device, offering quick,
Yeah, we-
insightful glimpses
we
into
already had
Conor's
that, I
mindset, the AI's development, and their evolving relationship. This approach can also highlight the contrast between
Plagiarism.
Conor's online persona and his internal despair, deepening the tragicomic elements of the story.
Tragicomic.
Tragic.
By making Conor's vlogging integral to the plot,
Is that a
you
thing?
emphasize
heard
the
that before.
irony of
Okay.
him documenting his
Tragicomic.
creation of what he believes will be a solution
Tragicomic.
to his loneliness,
Tragicomic.
only for
Tragicomic.
it to end in a horrific yet darkly humorous conclusion.
Tragicomic.
It underscores the theme that our digital endeavors to outwit human limitations, like mortality and loneliness, can lead to unforeseen, often absurd results. In summary, Conor's role as a YouTuber can thematically tie into the story by reflecting on the modern human experience, our complex relationship with technology, and the ironic outcomes of our digital age ambitions,
Okay.
enriching the dark comedy aspect.
So
of the
Chad
film.
loves this idea. Chad was very unequivocally pro.
Yeah, didn't even offer
Didn't
up
flinch
a,
and didn't even.
and I'm kind of on
have
board
a
with that.
counterpoint.
Well,
Like,
you also didn't offer a counterpoint, really.
Well, we said should it be?
yeah, I said
right?
should it.
Yeah,
You know, it was like,
True.
is it good? It could have said no.
true.
Well, I think yet again, whether it did what we were asking it to do in the prompt or not, it kind of put my feelings into words in a great way. Like not just as like a storytelling framing device, which I think it can be like really good for, but like it does tie into the theme here, and I didn't really like connect those dots.
In
until
what
Chad-
like key way? The search for immortality, because is that the biggest thing? The
Seeking
immortality
connections,
and
I thought, was the
connections?
most important thing.
Yeah. Yes, seeking connections is the bigger
Okay,
thing.
here's an idea.
The
Here's an
immortality
idea.
thing is kind of just like a.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Here's an idea.
I think that's just like a motivation that we all.
Chad. So Connor was initially looking for human connection on his YouTube channel, but his YouTube channel is not successful, so he does not have any interaction with fans. He creates the AI to get the connection. The AI then propels him to YouTube success, and he does get human connection out of it. And he now has legions of adoring YouTube fans, which is taking him away from Ronak, and thus necessitates the brain scooping. It's not about death.
Oh, so it's a
about,
selfish-
Like, I don't need this anymore. I don't need you anymore now that I'm a,
So the robot is like possessive.
Yeah, it's
and
a little more
jealous of
negative,
my-
I guess, in that sense. More that is maybe more sinister, but that connects the two more integrally.
Let me try to justify why. Let me ponder that for a second.
Think about it. Think about it.
It's an option for sure. It's definitely a different direction.
It's different.
Yeah.
But it does answer the question of how the two are related or what.
Well,
they
I
do
think the
with each
question
other.
is: are we trying to relate two things because we had this original idea and now we have this other idea and we're trying to
And
get them
because it
fit,
makes our
or is
production-
it actually better? If it's actually
Well-
better, that's one thing. But if it's just because we're trying to connect the dots, then I think
Well, and it also makes our production and our process
That's
easier.
kind of like
Which is a cheat on one hand, but it is also we do
it's something
need,
to consider.
but we do
because-
need to
yeah.
actually make it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like if it's,
I mean, I think it's a good framing device. I also like separate from like the movie itself, like just having these like DIY, like the making of an animatronic thing as like material, like even we may not even use it in the film, but like that would be
Right.
good to have. But I don't know. I think it, as Chad eloquently said, like it works well as like a framing device, but I don't know. Why do people vlog?
I think the problem is the problem is that if we incorporate it the way Chad is suggesting, it's kind of a redundant double beat.
Yeah.
It's like he wants the validation and the connection from the robot and from his YouTube
But we don't
audience,
have
and
to
they're
like.
serving the
But
same
we don't have to like
purpose.
focus on that. It's kind of just like that's just what this guy does. Like he could be like a radio like it doesn't matter what he is, but
I mean,
it just
maybe
happens
what
that-
if it is just that he has a YouTube, but his YouTube is not successful, and actually that can be used to highlight his isolation in the beginning, where he's like anyone in the chat or like any maybe he's doing
Nobody,
a live,
yeah,
he's like post
just
a
like
comment.
always, yeah.
Well, no, what else
Yeah.
is new?
Yeah, I'm
Just
cool
like
with him
this
not ever
podcast.
having an audience
because maybe then that highlights his need for the interaction from
And I don't think-
Ronak.
Yeah, and I don't know that we need necessarily
The success.
Ronak to propel the success.
We don't need success at all.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
his
just like
channel
like you
blows
said,
up
like
after he dies.
Maybe.
That could be a funny dark comedy like kind of thing. Like suddenly, like you see
Yeah.
his subscriber count throughout, and it's like 100 or
At the end,
Well, no, you have Ronak doing videos.
Ronak
at
is
the
doing
end.
videos with his AI
Yeah.
assistant.
With his like AI
Connor.
assistant.
Yeah.
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 And it's like super
It's like
successful.
a million,
and,
like
yeah.
20 million views. Yeah.
if it's like a more peripheral element that is used in that way, like to highlight a irony at the end, that's kind of
Yeah, I think if
See,
you
I
use
c-
it as a button, then
Yeah.
it works.
I think that could be a good button.
Yeah.
If the opening is him on the screen and it's like 3 views, and then the ending is Rana, you are in the screen and it's like 20 million views.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why yours was such a failure and Ronak's is
Well,
such a
because
huge
he's,
success
you know,
because you
he-
died on screen and then your brain scooped out.
Well, I don't think
I don't know because he's just better than you. I
Yeah.
guess
Maybe we can
we'll figure that.
we'll figure
part
that out.
Yeah.
But like I think we've got like a pretty decent
That's not bad.
thing going here. Do we want to attempt the outline before we wrap up?
Let's try it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just give it that idea. Give it that idea.
Okay.
Who wants to take the lead on?
Evan, you've talked
Prompting.
to it thus far.
Sure.
You're comfortable speaking with it.
So yeah, I'm just
Basically-
going to quickly run it through again. He has an unsuccessful
Unsuccessful
YouTube channel.
which highlights his isolation.
Highlights
He
his
wants to
isolation.
chat. He wants people to comment.
Why don't you do it?
Okay, I'll do it.
You got it.
All right, I got it.
Then we can all freebase.
I got it.
Oh, look, I was looking forward to that all day.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And tell it to write an outline.
Okay, so we have come up with a way to incorporate Conor's vlogging into the storyline. We want Conor to be an unsuccessful YouTuber, and we see in the opening that he does not have any engagement with his audience. He desperately wants them to comment and chat, but they won't, highlighting his isolation, and thus forcing him to, in some ways, create the Ronak robot to be his companion. In the end, when Conor has his brain scooped out and has his consciousness transferred into the machine while Ronak is there in the material form, we see that Ronak has actually become an extremely successful YouTuber with millions of views, doing videos with his quote-unquote AI assistant, Conor. And now, would you please write us an outline of the short film that incorporates what I just told you?
Oh, and by the way, Ronak is Conor backwards, and that's the name of the AI.
That's the name of
in case
the
we
AI.
never told you that.
good stuff. I think
Hopefully.
we'll hopefully have something here that'll be
It's just
interesting.
it is crazy that we can just do this.
I know.
Like,
Based on your
sometimes I
detailed
just have to remind
concept,
myself.
here's an outline for the dark comedy short film. Title, Ronach. Opening image. Conor, an unsuccessful YouTuber, attempts to engage with his non-existent audience
Ronach.
during a live stream. Here's a concise outline for your dark comedy short film, incorporating Conor's journey from an unsuccessful YouTuber to creating Ronach, leading up to the ironic twist of their roles being reversed. Opening image. Scene 1.
Ronach.
Introduce Conor, an enthusiastic yet visibly frustrated YouTuber, trying and failing to engage with his non-existent audience. His frustration and loneliness are palpable.
A little close to
as he
home.
ends
Yeah.
the
A little
stream
bit.
to
Art
no
imitates
comments or
life.
interaction,
Yeah, don't like twist the
highlighting
knife,
his isolation.
motherfucker.
Highlight his isolation and longing for connection. Setup. Desperate for companionship and success, Conor introduces his new project to his audience, creating an AI companion. Star setup, scene 2. He names the AI Ronach, his name backward,
Why
to
would that-
No, I
symbolize their
don't.
connection.
That's not
Faced
my name
with the
backwards.
stark reality of his loneliness and lack of engagement, Conor introduces his project to create the Ronach robot, seeking companionship and hoping to boost his channel. Scene 3. Show Conor working on Ronach, a blend of technical brilliance and desperation. Initially, Ronach exists only in a chatbot form, responding to
Ronach.
Conor's interactions with basic, yet gradually more personalized responses. Use vlogs to document his progress, mixing humor with pathos as he interacts more with Ronach.
Anybody
than any
mixing
human.
humor with pathos?
Catalyst, scene 4. Ronach is activated and begins interacting with Conor. Catalyst. Conor decides to escalate the project by building a physical body for Ronach, vlogging the process.
I think that would happen earlier.
Initially,
in
This
the
is
real-
like
their
not-
interactions are
very
awkward,
weird.
but gradually become more
different than
meaningful,
what she's saying.
highlighting Conor's growing attachment.
No, it's
He
right. It
imagines
is
the
right.
duo becoming a viral sensation,
Oh no, there's
overcoming
like
No,
more.
there's more
in
in
what she's
the-
saying.
and
Yeah.
achieving the
is
fame he
interesting.
craves. Midpoint. Ronach is fully operational, both in digital and physical forms. Midpoint, scene 5. As Ronach learns and evolves, he starts contributing ideas for the channel. Their interactions are quirky and humorous.
This is actually
with
pretty
Ronach
good though,
showing early signs of
Surprisingly been on the
surpassing
money.
Conor in wit and
except for this
insight.
part.
Their
Yeah, I
content
think it
begins
lost
to
the plot a
gain
little bit.
traction, subtly shifting the dynamics of their
until
relationship.
6,
Conor
it's pretty
starts
good.
to feel a genuine bond, treating Ronach more like a friend than a creation. Escalation, scene 6. Ronach's ideas grow increasingly sophisticated and popular, overshadowing
it's
Conor.
stuck on the
Rising
old
action,
concept,
So I think
Ronach begins
I think
suggesting
around
content
scene
ideas.
6 it goes in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It becomes less about the YouTubing and more about their personal.
So maybe we just say like that's good up until
Yeah, okay.
midpoint and
Oh.
then just adjust.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
We're doing voice?
Yeah, we're doing voice.
All right.
What you have is really good up until the midpoint. I would adjust it so that instead of focusing on the YouTuber element with Ronach's ideas becoming popular and overshadowing Conor's, it's more personalized and it's about the connection between Conor and Ronach growing more and more personal and in depth, and it leads to Conor developing a more intimate, not necessarily romantic, but a more intimate connection with Ronach that devolves into an existential crisis.
It's going to read the entire thing again, isn't it?
Adjusting the focus
Yep.
to a deeper, more intimate connection between Conor and Ronach shifts the narrative towards exploring the emotional and psychological complexities of their relationship, leading to an existential crisis. Here's a revised outline
Existential
reflecting this
crisis.
Do
adjustment.
we want to...
Yeah, we get the point.
Oh.
We don't need to hear it. I think we can just see it.
Okay. How did it do?
We'll see.
The intimacy of their connection leads to a pivotal conversation where
that's
they
good.
discuss the nature of consciousness and the fear of death.
Yes.
Conor
yes,
confesses his
yes.
existential dread and loneliness,
It
revealing his
remembered
thoughts of
that.
suicide
Okay.
as an
Why is
escape.
it so much better when you talk to it?
Escalation. Scene 6. Moved by Conor's vulnerability, Ronach... it's now just Ronach.
Scoops its brain.
Begins to
Okay.
contemplate the value of existence and the limitations of his artificial life. This marks the start of an existential crisis for both.
That's interesting.
Of course the AI would.
Mhm. Well,
make
we
sure
know
that
we know how
it
Chad
incorporates
really
its own
feels.
feelings into
We know
this.
Chad's feelings.
And the limitations of his artificial life. This marks the start of an existential crisis for both as they grapple with their purpose and the concept of mortality. Climax, scene 7, in a misguided attempt to save Conor from his existential despair and the inevitability of death, Ronach
Ronach.
What is Ronach doing?
Scoops his brain out.
You did stop it, so I think
Scoops his brain out.
Ronach scoops
his brain out. We get it.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
job.
Look, it's good. We got a long way to go yet.
I know, but we have a basic structure of what we're
I
trying
think we
to
can
accomplish.
next time we can really work
move
on
to the script phase. I think.
Yeah, I think we maybe we can take this
Take
offline and like just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And if we have any major changes to what's here, we'll make sure to go into why we made them before the next episode, and then just dive into writing.
Yeah.
I think that was very productive. At the start of the episode, we didn't even know what the story was. I feel like we've got a
We've
pretty
gone a long
decent
way.
handle on it.
Yeah.
And it was all due to us. No thanks to you, Chad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, actually, Chad, you were helpful. You know,
Chad was helpful.
You were
If
very
nothing
helpful.
else, it was very helpful to like you had a couple of moments where it articulated your thoughts for you.
It's like a communicating tool
yeah.
that you can use to
We
translate.
could even bring that into the script. It's like, oh, you said what I was feeling.
Yeah.
He has like a bad relationship.
Yeah,
Maybe
like-
that's the secondary character. It's like one of his parents or like
Yeah.
someone in his personal life. He can't like say what he wants to say to, and he uses
Yeah.
Chad to like.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Or he
It's a
like
weird scene.
or Chad or Ranach
Ranosh.
verbalizes his own
Ronach.
suicidal thoughts that he can't bring himself to say.
Ooh.
Yeah,
there's a lot we could do there.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because he's just so bad at talking about his feelings, but the AI can do it for him.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
heavy duty.
All right. Well,
Love
that's a little tease for next time.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Tune
folks.
in.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Hit the thing.
One
The
of them- one of those
subscribe and the
buttons.
like.
We got buttons. You got buttons.
Yeah.
Do.
All right.
We all got to use our buttons. All right.
That's
All right.
right.
See you
Button
guys.
can't go unused.
Button
Speaking
can't.
of which, here's my button.